Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 2CTV, your global news channel. We have some more breaking news coming from the United States, this time in Colorado. We're also getting some worrying updates coming from another place, this time in Tennessee, where almost a deadly crash has now happened. We're going to get more information about what's happening in Tennessee shortly, but let's focus on what's been happening in Boulder, Colorado. We have a number of videos. There has been a terror attack targeting the American Jews who were peacefully walking and doing a protest in defense of Israel and Israelis. This was targeted by a man. We now have the identity of the suspect. We're going to go through this. Colorado police responded initially to an attack at the Pearl Street Mall in Boulder, Colorado. The organizers of this walk, peaceful walk, they said this is not a protest, it is a peaceful walk to show solidarity with the hostages and their families and a plea for their release. That's all they were doing, ladies and gentlemen. And then they were attacked by this.
We're fucking God.
Stay.
Unfortunately, a number of people have been injured. At least 2 of them with serious injuries, burn injuries, have now been sent to the hospital. We have a statement from the local hospital as well. This was the location of the attack, where this man, who we're going to talk about in a second, was pouring gasoline on people and was using a Molotov cocktail he was trying to basically set them on fire. We have this video showing the suspect. This is the beginning, where he was trying to, as I said, obviously pour gasoline on people. Let's quickly go to the second video. Then we're going to talk about the identity of the man. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the identity of the suspect. The FBI have now taken control of the investigation. We can now confirm that, the police in Boulder, Colorado have now confirmed that the suspect is named Mohammed Soliman. Mohammed Soliman was the one who was throwing Molotov cocktail at the pro-Israeli peaceful walk. As we said, unfortunately, 2 people have now been sent to hospital with serious injuries. Fortunately, nobody has lost their lives so far, and this attack could have been much worse. We do have a quick statement from the director of the FBI, Kash Patel. Initially, he responded saying, "We are aware of and fully investigating a targeted terror attack in Boulder, Colorado. Our agents and local law enforcement are on the scene already, and we will share updates as more information becomes available." I'm just going to show you the difference between how the American administration is handling a situation like this compared to everything we've been talking about in Paris last night and tonight, everything that's happened in the UK, for example, recently with the situation in Liverpool, and many other attacks in general, regardless of the motive. In Europe, in Britain, you have a vacuum in terms of the information. There is a problem with the political establishment and the authorities giving you any sort of update or information. In the United States, right now, under the current administration, we have already, over the last few minutes, received multiple updates from the FBI, from the Homeland Security Department, and the local law enforcement in general. They are handling this much better than many other countries in Europe. So this is a clearer image of the suspect, Mohammed Soliman, who threw the Molotov cocktail and at the obviously supporters, the Israeli supporters, the American Jews in Boulder, Colorado. He was initially, as I said, holding the gasoline in his hands, trying to obviously pour it on people first. And the police acted very quickly, very swiftly. They came and arrested him and prevented the attack from causing more injuries. We have more footage from him, which we can quickly go to now. Then we're going to show you more of the statements that we are receiving from Kristi Noem and the FBI in general as well. Do we have the next video ready, guys? Yeah, let's go to the next clip.
We're here, brother. We're here. We can't do nothing about that. We can't do nothing.
We can!
Not here.
We have to end Zionist!
Not here, bro.
You're not!
People are taking video right now.
We have to end Zionist!
He was wearing an orange suit with like something on his back.
spraying alcohol,
Spraying
too.
alcohol, but what he did was he made it look like he was here.
He's making Molotov cocktails.
Palestine and for us,
Well, we can't do it when he's got Molotov cocktails in
if
his
you are fighting, you have to
That's what he's got right here, is Molotov
You're
cocktails.
right there.
Alcohol.
They are killers!
Get back, Mom.
How many?
Now, based on his accent and complexions, again, we will get the confirmation, but he seems to be an actual Arab from an Arab country. I mean, probably, if he's not from the actual Arab world, he'll be probably from Egypt, because he's a little bit lighter than the usual, obviously, North Africans. But we will get the confirmation on his origin and nationality, of course, Mohammed Soleiman. Now, let's go to the deputy director of the FBI as well, saying that the FBI personnel are on the scene in Boulder, Colorado, along with the local law enforcement. We are investigating this incident as an act of terror and targeted violence. All of this necessary assets will be dedicated to this investigation. If you have any investigative tips, please contact the FBI. And if you aided or abetted this attack, we will find you. You cannot hide. This is the other thing that we are getting from the way the Americans are approaching this, the government, compared to, again, in Britain or in France. Not only they're giving you guys statements very quickly, but they're also, they decide on what it is and what they want to call it very quickly. Even for the FBI, it's quite impressive actually, but they've decided, they said this is a targeted attack, is that we're going to consider this and going to investigate this as a terror attack immediately. Done. Now, the local hospital has now also released a statement saying the media, please see the below information. The UCA Health University of Colorado Hospital has received 2 patients from the incident in Boulder. Due to patient privacy, no further information is available at this time. Additional updates will be posted here. We're going to keep an eye on that as well for you guys to make sure you are up to date. Let's go to the next more footage that obviously we're receiving. It's the whole downtown Boulder in Colorado is turned into a war zone, which is really, really embarrassing right now for the authorities and the establishment, which is, let's not forget, is controlled by the US Democrats.
If you're going north, if you can go one more block that way. If you're just taking pictures, that's fine too.
As I said earlier, there is also a situation in Tennessee. We are getting more information about what's happening over there. There seemed to be a bit of a crash. A car has, a man drove a car into a crowd. We'll find out exactly what's happening over there, but I can bring you guys more statements, this time from Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, saying we are united in prayer for the victims of a targeted terror attack this afternoon in Boulder. Terror has no place in our great country. Of course, as I said, this was an organized peaceful march, walk by the Jewish Americans in Colorado, in Boulder, to raise awareness about the hostages in Gaza and, of course, the Israeli victims of Hamas. They have now also released a statement. This is a joint statement from the Boulder's Jewish community. We are saddened and heartbroken to learn that an incendiary device was thrown at walkers at the Run for Their Lives walk on Pearl Street as they were raising awareness for the hostages still held in Gaza. We don't have all the details of what is unfolding, and we promise to keep our community informed. Our hearts go out to those who witnessed this horrible attack, and prayers for a speedy recovery to those who were injured. We are in touch with law enforcement about our Boulder Jewish community, and safety is our highest priority. We are working closely with the SCN, Boulder Police Department and the FBI. We are grateful for the first responders who are caring for our injured. We will continue to work together to share information and provide support for our community. When events like this enter our own community, we are shaken. Our hope is that we come together for one and another. And finally, we also have this quick statement from Kirsten Noem of the Homeland Department Security, saying that the DHS is monitoring the terrorist attack in Boulder, Colorado. We are working with our interagency partners, including the FBI, and we'll share more information as soon as it becomes available. We are praying for the victims and their families. This violence must stop. Again, absolutely, I'm very impressed by the way that the American establishment are handling this in regards to the communication and keeping everybody up to date. Now, I'm just going to double check. In Tennessee, that crash with a car, unfortunately, 6 people have now been sent to hospital, which is also a sad update. We'll keep you guys posted on that. So let's quickly get some reaction while we are here. Lady Rain, thank you for your comment, saying, I went to the University of Colorado. Colorado is now California, and the governor is a woke fool. Yeah, unfortunately, I've been quite in touch with a number of people I know in Colorado over the last 5 years. Definitely over the last 7-8 years. It's turned into a complete. It used to be a very nice. It's still a nice place, obviously, but it was a peaceful place, but not anymore. You are doing a better job than sources in the United States legacy media. Thank you, buddy. Thank you very much, Butch Morton, for your support. Of course, subscribe to the channel, guys, if you haven't already. BT Sweeney says, how tragic. Last week it was the embassy staffers. A week before, the pregnant lady and her baby killed in Israel. And now this, yeah. The attacks continue. David says, absolutely disgusting. And of course, his name is Mohammed. Yeah, Mohammed Soliman. We'll find out more information as we receive it from the FBI and, of course, the police department in Boulder. Rebecca says the US has plenty of problems, but the contrast between the official response here and that in other countries make me modestly proud to be American. You should absolutely be proud of being American. Everything you can definitely see the difference between the way things are going in Europe when similar situations happen. April Lee says, Colorado is worse than California, to be honest. Yeah, this one probably, right? I know, I live in California. The thing is that the beauty when it comes to California is that there is a lot of parts of that state that's away from the urban areas, away from LA, that is still very much lovely and peaceful. And that's why when you look at the vote share in the 2024 presidential elections, actually California became almost a purple state. The red side kept coming up. Now, of course, they didn't have enough to win the state, but a lot of people assume at this point the California will be fully blue. Every section of the state will be voting blue for the Democrats. It's not true. We will get more information about Tennessee, as I said, as well, and find out what is happening over there. Ivan says, bad news overload today. My heart is breaking here. It's been a very sad day. It's been busy on 2CTV, but it's been also very it's been difficult, let's just say. And obviously it's my job. I have to do this for you guys. It's a global channel, so everything that happens around the world, we have to bring it to you guys when we can. We've been reporting on what's going on, obviously, it's been Russia, Ukraine earlier, but we talked about Paris, and we're talking about this, and now Tennessee and everything else. Libel says that the safe world that we knew has ended. Stay safe. The thing is, as we get even closer to even more of a globalized world, and the world is becoming smaller because of the ease of travel and the internet, the information. Until a few decades ago, chaos still existed in the world. But if you were living your own life in a small town in the US or in Canada or whatever, you were kind of away from it. But now everybody is everywhere, and the problem is getting everywhere, like a virus that's infecting the whole world. So the problems are no longer just in one region of the world. We have a statement coming in as well. Actually, this time from Hakeem Jeffries, the Brooklyn congressman. I believe we're just hearing that in New York City and in the state of New York in general, they are actually increasing the security measures after what happened in Boulder as well. Let's quickly go to Hakeem Jeffries, saying that the Jewish community in America has once again become the target of a horrific anti-Semitic attack, as residents of Boulder gathered on the eve of the holiday of the Shavuot to raise awareness for the hostages still being held captive in Gaza. The peacefulness of their assembly was shattered. Our heartfelt prayers are with all of our Jewish brothers and sisters impacted by this unconscionable act of terror, and we thank law enforcement for their swift response. Anti-Semitism has no place in our nation or anywhere throughout the world. It must be crushed. We stand with the Jewish community today and always. Hopefully we'll get more statements from the Democrats, the fellow US Democrats as well. We're waiting for the leaders of the party to say something. Let's quickly move while we get more information from Boulder. Let's go to Tennessee. There's an ongoing situation in Tennessee as well, which we can bring you guys. 6 people have now been hospitalized after a massive crash, and obviously a car that drove into people, and 4 other cars were also basically damaged. 3 victims have been airlifted by LifeStar helicopter to the University of Tennessee Medical Center, and 3 others have been taken by ambulance. Let's quickly go. I can show you the first video that we have now received from Tennessee.
Major wreck here in Gatlinburg. Major crash in the side of Gatlinburg here. We've got a serious accident here. This is in Gatlinburg, in the middle of the middle of Gatlinburg. There's multiple crashes. There's guys laying on the sidewalk.
Yeah, hopefully everybody will be fine in Tennessee. So much is happening at the same time. Christy from the US says, thank you for all you do. Thank you very much, Christy, for your generous super chat as well. I really appreciate that. Although if you guys want to support the channel, but also get something in return, the best thing you can do is actually join as a member on 2C TV Plus. Just go on 2c.tv, the link is below. The link is also in the description. Become a member today. You get 1 month free if you join as an annual subscriber. But also download the 2C TV app today. The app is free to download. But obviously, if you're a member of 2C Plus, you get access to documentaries and everything else. Also, you get access to the news alerts and everything else that we have on the app. It's the best way to stay up to date with everything we do. Lena says, thank you from New York. Thank you very much, Lena from New York. We've also launched our new podcast, which I came up with a very original name, 2C Talks. Obviously, you're going to have to, right? Which is, you can also watch that on 2c.tv or on the app, 2C TV app. Peter says, our current administration doesn't hide information about criminals and terrorists. It's refreshing to know the truth. It is. The thing is, I just gave a massive compliment to the Americans for being very on top of this. Everybody from the FBI to the Homeland Security to even Marco Rubio's department. He didn't have to, right? But he did. And even you have representatives from other states also responding. But this is all happening because of the new administration. When you had similar situations under the Biden administration, and when the media completely was controlled by the Liberal side, and they were just getting their commands and their orders from the White House. You didn't have this. You had a lot of cover-ups, left, right, and center. Even when the evidence was right in front of you, like the Hunter Biden laptop, they were just like, no, we can't see the laptop. I don't know what you're talking about. So it's because of the change that's happened over the last few months. Someone responded to Hakeem saying, oh, Hakeem, too little, too late, and too disingenuous. Yeah, if people like Hakeem Jeffries were on top of things, especially in New York, you know, things would have been slightly better. Yeah, there's another comment saying, scumbag Hakeem Jeffries is a slithering snake and doesn't give the tiniest bit for the Jews. He just cares about the votes, let's not forget. He even changed from a Baptist to Muslim. Black Muslims are extremely anti-white. They're slithering snake. Yeah. Someone is spamming. So in case you're not familiar with our policy on 2CTV, we don't have moderators. It's a free speech platform. You can say whatever you want in the comments. But if you copy and paste the same comment, spamming like this person, Charlie's, that says breaking, huge terror attack against the Jews in Colorado, big false flag incoming. If you keep copy and pasting it, which he's doing it now, you will get banned. So let's ban this person. There we go. Done. He's gone. Now, let's go back to some of the more sane humans. What? Injured? What? Hijacked? This is difficult. What does it say? Oh, that's propaganda. Cars don't drive into people. People drive cars. Yes, well, Keir Starmer in Britain is considering to ban cars. So cars are dangerous, apparently. Lebel says, chaos like this has not always existed. Yes, it has. As I said, it always existed. It was just in a different part of the world. It never came to the West. We have weak leaders. Macron is subject to child abuse. Starmer is screwed in every office. Is that office? Yeah, office of his, what? Something of his being, yeah. Now, let's quickly get more updates from what is actually happening on the ground. We are not going to get any more information about the actual suspects. There was a bit of a clash, by the way, between the police in terms of the communication of it. The police in Boulder and the FBI earlier on, because obviously Kash Patel and the rest of the government and the FBI in general, they came and said, well, this is clearly a targeted terror attack. And they repeatedly said targeted terror attack. But the police chief initially came and said, well, we're not considering this as a terror attack. What do you consider this? An isolated incident? Let's quickly go to the police chief in Colorado, in Boulder, Stephen Redfern, and then let's find out what he said initially. Then they've been told, well, you're an idiot. It's quite obvious. They're now investigating it as a terror attack.
FBI is already calling it a targeted terror attack. Mm-hmm. Would you also refer to it as a terror attack?
So I've been in contact with our local FBI multiple times. We are in contact with them here. We are not calling it a terror attack at this point. Again, it's way too early to speculate motive. You know, I know there's a lot out there on social media, but I ask people just to give us a little bit of patience while we work through a really complex scene. A lot of witnesses were here. We've taken them to another location to debrief them and interview them.
Hang on. Okay. So, a man called Mohammed Soleiman in advance prepares Molotov cocktails. He's got gasoline and everything else, right? He comes to the crowd. He attacks them. And then when confronted, he starts doing an anti-Jewish rant. And you still don't consider this as a terrorist attack. Again, Colorado is controlled by the US Democrats. The rest of the establishment, you already have the federal government, the FBI, on top of it. Now, obviously, we will wait for the actual investigation to be concluded completely, but based on what we know so far, based on what we've seen from the evidence, the videos. Kimberly, thank you for your super sticker. Yeah, Sabrina says, it's so absurd how they bend over backwards to pretend what's happening isn't happening. Like, if they had any evidence to the contrary, fine. If the chief of the police in Boulder said, well, what we're going to do, we kind of discovered something new. We're not going to give you guys information, but it might be something else, okay? We have idiots in the live chat as well, saying, Israel is behind it. It's a false flag attack. There we go. Oh, God. I got more. All right, okay. What is this? All right. Safe. Maya, you are from Iran. Yes. When was the last time you visited Iran? Is there any plan to head to Iran? You can change your name and visit your father. It doesn't work that way. If you got British passport, the UK government will protect you. So, okay, number one. Yes, obviously I'm from Iran. As a kid, I came to the UK. I did used to go and visit until 2009. That was when I was then unable to go back because I was getting involved in politics in Britain and my dad was a troublemaker, right? So I got banned. My dad was banned from leaving. He used to come and visit me in London as well as a tourist. And then they put a fatwa on my head. I got 2 fatwas against me by the Islamic Republic. They got my face everywhere. They tried to kidnap me outside my flat in London. You think if I change my name, they'll be like, well, we don't know who this person is now, everything's fine. No. Also, yeah, imagine thinking that the British government is going to protect me if I go to... Also, why on earth would I even consider going to Iran? That is a terrible, terrible idea. Do not go to Iran. It's not a good idea. But yes, the British government protect. The British government can't even protect people in Britain. Oh my God, we have another idiot. Uncanny Mountain says, you are a terrorist moonlighting as a journalist. Fair game. We can send you a mystery Amazon box. Well, that's a lovely creative death threat. I always appreciate when the death threats are creative. A mystery Amazon, but does it have to be Amazon? When did I become a terrorist? Oh my God. All right, anyway, death threats aside. What is this person saying? Oh God, there's a lot of Palestinian flags. Palestinian flags in the live chat. I'm allergic to the Palestinian flag. It's not real. He also says, but that's fair game according to Jews. Jews can take you out with your family. Can take you out with your family. So stop crying, Jew boy. Jew boy. When did I become a Jew? I'm a Christian, for God's sake. Oh, God. It's been a long day. Can you guys, like, the trolls just, like, tone it down a little bit? You do realize I can't help myself. I'm going to have to respond to it every time. But do we have an update? Okay, so... Okay, now the authority... Obviously, this is getting crazy now. All right, let me just show you the latest. This is actually again from Fox News. They're talking to an eyewitness on the ground. This was quite clear. I showed you the video, the direct video itself. Let me just quickly go to this, because they're talking about, obviously, the suspect having an accent. Obviously, he had an accent, which we saw in the video. Arab accent. Let's quickly go to the eyewitness on Fox News.
There's a woman who was on the ground bleeding out. Oh my gosh, sorry. And then there are 2 other women whose calves were burned from the fire, and so I just ran over to stay with them and make sure that they didn't.
On the ground, and then we noticed 2 other people that had also been affected by the burns on their legs, and this man was shirtless and was yelling with some kind of accent, and was
yes, Mohammed Soleiman obviously is going to have an accent. It's not now the fact that the police chief in Boulder is like, well, we're still uncertain. You can be uncertain if you want to. No, this was not a random situation. It's not an accident. The guy prepared the Molotov cocktails in advance. Ivan says that chief should work for Starmer. Yeah, gaslighting the whole of the public. And Jeff says this is a cancer. Super chat from Sassy Cat saying, regarding the European issues, the US State Department has raised their level advisories at level 2 because of the civil unrest and terrorism. Not even surprised at this point. It's a bad situation. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to keep you guys posted. Subscribe to 2CTV if you haven't already. Download the 2CTV app to stay up to date with everything. I'm Maya 2C, and we are the media.